Hey guys, welcome back to Bearded Lumber. Matthew and I appreciate you tuning in. We're out here in the yard today. We got some nice cherry. Matthew's got sorted out, pile 1, pile 2, and one oddball number 3 over there. Come back and we'll tell you what we're gonna do with them and get sawing on them. Hey guys, welcome back. It's kind of a part 2 for the customer. It's a completely new video for you because this time it's about wild cherry, and we'll go into a lot more detail about the pitfalls of sawing cherry. We just finished up a huge order. Sitting over here, get my finger to point. Big old pile of walnut. That was for the customer, and this is the second part. They're building a house out of country, and they wanted walnut and cherry, and those two species are not available where they're building, so they're taking them with them. They run a local tree service. They have access to high quality stuff. They've been saving this walnut and cherry for quite a while, and they brought it all to us. We're going to process it and send it down the road. Now, talked to the customer yesterday. I kind of want a half mix on this of 1-inch boards and 2-inch boards. Got some tables to build, some shelves and different things. So whatever, we'll just do what they want. These are around 10 feet. We'll probably slab most of these, and then we'll switch over to doing 1-inch boards. Now, in that walnut, it was real easy. I went flat, back, side, cut it to the bottom. Flat saw. Can't get no easier. This stuff we can't. Reason being is the heartwood on this cherry. The heartwood is never good. Even this log, that heart looks pretty good, but in the drying process, it won't dry good. You'll end up with a slab that's got 3 or 4 inches, 6 inches good wood, and then a crack right down the heart, or worse than a crack, just kind of this. So we'll end up cutting this a whole lot different. We'll get the one loaded up on the mill, and we'll talk about boxing the heart on this cherry log. So let's get it in the mill and we'll get started. Get it in the sawmill and we'll get started. Okay guys, this is the furthest end away from me. You can see the bad heart. I actually sawed off the hinge from where the guy felled the tree, and I seen ants run out of it, so not gonna be good. It's gonna have a lot of heart loss. And this end is double trunked because it's wide off. So this one's gonna be a challenge because I know the heart is right here, even though there's a heart here and a heart here. As you can see where the Y starts, where it's separated. So, probably the best thing if you were grade lumber in this is to cut this off. Cut it down to an 8-footer and make better material. But we can't do that because this is what they want. So we're gonna do our best. Let me answer my phone and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Had to answer a phone call. The goal of this log is 2-inch slabs, square edged, and box the heart. I'm not going to worry about where it splits here because I can't do anything about it. But right down the center, probably 4 to 6 inches is going to be waste. If it's salvageable, we might make some 4x4s, 2x4s for our dunnage pile. Other than that, we're not going to make boards out of it. So the goal is to come down from the top, come up from the bottom, and We'll make as nice a slabs as we can, but once we get to the heart, I'm just going to have to make a determination when we see the heart whether it's going to be a 4-inch cut or maybe a 6-inch cut. So, that's what I say. Sometimes you just got to open it up and see what you find. We sawed some hemlock yesterday and had 3 beautiful logs. The last log we got into was full of ants. We lost most of the log because of it. So you just never know. Let's fire everything up and we'll set you up where you can see the cuts, kind of see the process I'm doing. I may roll it all the way around and then start working it towards the middle, try to get some of the waste off of it. We may get some 1-inch boards set to the side, we'll edge later, but we're mainly looking for good 2-inch square edge boards. So let's get to it. Okay guys, that's our first 2 logs. Probably watched the first one, I kind of talked over it, then the second one we just blow through it. Similar but different. The first log we cut down to basically a 6x6 and throwed it away. The heart was so bad. Now this one, I trimmed it down to a 4x4. Over here a little closer. You can see once we got down to the heart, got a little defect here, but there's enough good wood there, we're gonna pass it on. Here's why we boxed the heart. This is dead center of the tree. See all this heart grain, deterioration. There's nothing there. And that's every cherry you ever cut. If you saw through this heart, you're gonna throw it away either now or later. And I prefer to just throw it away now, give the customer a better product. Now this is solid enough, we'll take it over there, we'll make some 42-inch long 4x4s for dunnage, put between all these stacks of wood we cut. Got any questions on solid cherry, drop them in the comments, I'll try to answer them. But this is what we talk about by boxing the heart. And every log's different. Sometimes you can get by with a 4x4, sometimes you have to go with a 6x6. The first log, the heart we knew it was bad because when I chainsawed the end, I seen ants run out of it. And it didn't get no better. So, that's it on this. We got a bunch to do. We'll come back to the end and talk a little more about it, but Matthew and I got to get to work, so let's get to it. Hey guys, welcome back. We finished up this morning. Had customers come by yesterday and we just quit. So come back in this morning. We had 5 or 6 logs of this cherry to finish. I wish I had filmed it. We run across some of the prettiest cherry stuff we've seen in a long time. I did film a short, so if you want to see it, go back and look at our playlist at shorts. There'll be a short on this. At some it was burley, bird's eye, curly, just all kind of crazy stuff. But we was trying to get done, got to get this finished for the customer. We ended up with 818 board feet of 2-inch and 1-inch cherry, actually 1 16 inches. I cut it just a little proud so they wouldn't have any trouble getting a 1-inch board. The 2-inch boards, they'll probably plane down to 1.5 inches. They're making dining room table, some open shelving, different things. But like I said earlier, this wood is going to be picked up, transported all the way down to Mexico City actually, to build one of my customers building a house down there, and they wanted walnut and cherry, couldn't get it. So they're in the tree business, so they just stored it up and brought it to me, and we milled it up. A little over 1,500 board feet of walnut, some beautiful stuff, and then we got this 800 plus board feet of cherry. So I don't know how they plan on getting it down there, but that's a lot. We were going to dry it, but plans changed. They got somebody, their contractor in Mexico said they'd just rather handle it, so fine with me. We're done with our part. I've already communicated with the customer. All they need to do is come by, write a check, load their truck, and they'll be ready to move on. So, what did we learn? Cherry, guys, you got to learn to box the heart on your cherry. No, you don't have to, but you're not going to make good boards. They're not going to end well. They're not going to turn out like you expect or the customer expects. And if you've done cherry, you know this. But if you've never sawn cherry, this is particularly for you guys that never messed with it. Cherry is the worst wood out there. Probably beech is as bad, but nobody saws beech. I got some over here I slapped off, and it's just as bad as cherry, right down the heart. Something about the way this wood is made, the way God made it, the heart, when it dries, will just shatter. It'll crack, split, warp, does all kind of crazy things. So every one of these logs, I boxed the heart. And these were smaller logs, so with the exception of one that had a lot of bugs in it, I basically boxed the heart down to 4 inches, and then I took 4-inch boards this way, 4-inch boards this way. Ended up with a 4x4, 4x5, and threw it away. Now the good 4x4s we made dunnage. The bad ones we just throwed them away. So you got to figure that in. You may want to figure in a little extra because you're throwing that wood away. You know, that's a 4x4 I sold that we didn't get paid for. And I'm fine with that. I do enough business, do enough volume, I can eat it. But now if I was sawing cherry 5 days a week, every week, you know, yeah, you might want to adjust for the amount of wood that you have to dispose of that you don't get paid for. And that tip of the day, I do that with all my customers. You know, they'll deliver stuff and say, well, I want 2 8s. Okay, we'll get all the 2 8s we can get. What do you want out of the rest of it? Well, I just want 2 8s. I said, well, I don't saw just 2 8s because you're going to get some 2 6s, 2 4s, maybe some 1 4s. These are yours, you know, so you tell me what size kind of fits your bill, and then they understand that a log don't just yield one size of lumber. If you're shooting for 1x10s, well, there's going to be some waste here, some waste here, and there's definitely going to be a little waste here. And I'm not sawing that off for free. You know, that's going back home with them, because they'll always need, once you explain it to them, they're always going to need some 1x4s, some 1x6s, or maybe some 2x4s, especially if they're building something. Now, if they're doing cabinet work, why, sure, they need every piece you can provide them. Sometimes some real nice 1x3s would be, you know, advantageous to have. So just bear that in mind. You got to, you know, educate your customers a little bit about how you saw a log and what that log's going to yield and what they're going to take back home with them. So enough today. I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoy sawing cherry. I enjoy sawing everything, okay? I'll just admit, I enjoy sawing everything. It's always fun. But it is different when you get into some cherry, some walnut, some spalted maple, to where every log is not created equal. Now pine, look over here. Look at this pile. This is white pine. There's not going to be a unique log in that pile. And if you look over here, there's 12,000 feet of white pine. Ain't a single one of them logs going to go, wow, it's beautiful. They're just going to be regular white pine logs. Same thing above it. There's 3 stacks of yellow pine. Those logs are never going to yield a wow. But your maple, your cherry, your walnut, sometimes your hickory, some of those logs, you'll open them up and just go, wow. One of the best videos we've ever made was that burley maple video, because it is unrealistic how unique it was. I've sawed for many years and I've never seen one that burly, that bird's eye, curly, all kind of wonky stuff. It's just unique, and that's what I enjoy. It's fun to sit down on a big job like that white pine we got to do. There's at least 12,000 board feet of it. But after a day or two, it'll get real monotonous. I'll be looking to saw something different. Guys, we've picked up thousands and thousands of subscribers the last few months, and I can't tell you how overjoyed I am that you come in and join us here at Bearded Lumber. We're going to see what Matthew and I do every day. We're just normal people. We get up every day and work hard. I was going to say play hard, but really don't anymore. I've got old enough that playing hard ain't no fun. But we've had some videos on working on Matthew's boat. Tried to take it to the lake, blow the tire, run a rim. I got 2 new tires and rims come in yesterday. We got to work on that. And then we're going to try to take it to the lake, and we'll take you along. Because we do enjoy a little downtime fishing when we can. And I hope you take time to enjoy your friends, family, some hobbies. Now, don't let the hobbies get in the way of your family life and your work life, but you got to have a break every now and then. And I'll tell on my wife a little bit. I get in trouble for this one. She'll go shopping with my mother and her sister, and maybe the other sister from time to time, and they call it the old women gang. They'll go out and hit the thrift stores and different things, just having a ball. And I tell her to go. Matter of fact, here, let me give you some money, you know, go, have fun. Because everybody needs a break. We took last week, didn't do a lot of work. Matthew and I both needed a break. It was holiday week. We had work we could do, but we weren't behind on anything. So we took a couple days, worked on his boat, and took a mental break. That's about as important as anything some days, guys. So factor that in. Take time to spend with your family. I'm self-employed. I've worked in the public sector for 35 years. And I took a vacation every year because I had to. I had vacation time, I had it scheduled. And I find it hard being self-employed to make myself do that because my phone rings all the time. I talk to customers all the time. And I've got to do a better job myself of scheduling that vacation time. But we're getting there. I mean, this takes time. I'm not going to let my work suffer from vacationing, but you also got to have some vacation time built in there. So I hope that helps. Guys, we appreciate each and every one of you subscribing. Appreciate everybody that watches. You got any questions, drop in the comment section. I'll be glad to answer them. As always, you know, it's repetitive, I know, but I really, truly appreciate Matthew and Solomon editing all these videos. It frees me up to run my business and try to think about YouTube, but don't have to sit in front of that computer for hours on end. That's something I'm not good at, and they are excellent at it. So, get a chance, tell them thank you in the comments, you know, for doing all this hard work. If you get a chance, check out Solomon's channel, Third Beard Fishing. I watched his video last night. He was repairing on his Hobie boat. I missed what he had done, do some damage to it, but he was working on it. It was pretty interesting. But he does a lot of fishing in the middle part of Florida. You can learn a lot. So, big shout out as always to Mizer. Appreciate them. They're a big help to us. I actually just got off the phone, had to order some parts for our LT70. Wasn't their fault, it was mine. Burn up a guide roller. Got a piece of bark. My mill has the high performance blade guides, and they're just 2 blocks that set inboard of the bearing, and there's a 10,000 shim, so that blade can only move a little bit. But right behind it is the guide roller, and somehow or another we got a piece of this stinking cherry bark in behind there, and I didn't see it, Matthew didn't see it, and the guide roller wasn't spinning, and we wore that burn flat spot on it. So there you go, you know, a $200 donation to Mizer. But I did upgrade this mill as well as most of them. If you're looking at a new mill, go ahead and pay for it up front. They have the option of greasable blade guides. This mill didn't have it, should have at the price point it was at, but I went ahead and upgraded both guide rollers to greasable, so once a week you can go in there and pump just a little bit of grease in that bearing and really extend the life of them. I know on my 35, I kept packs of bearings because we'd wear them out. Every couple hundred hours it'd start roaring. Instead of listening to that thing roar, I'd slap a new set of bearings in it and we'd go back to work. So I paid my Mizer tax today. It happens, guys, real world. But that's gonna do it. Big shout out to Joe Maine. If you need any parts, blades, supplies, stuff like that, give Joe a call. His contact info will be in the description. As always, we're here because of you. We appreciate you watching. Thanks for everything. Thanks for all the comments, guys. I really appreciate them. They brighten my day. 99% of them are positive. Most of them I glean something out of them. Somebody's got a little tech tip they're giving me, and I appreciate each and every one of them. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back at the mill.
Thank you for watching. Here's a video selection and a playlist suggestion. Click here to subscribe for more great content. We'll see you at the mill.